Hello, my name is Stephanie Bird, and I am presenting Stephanie slash Lily B about me. So first, we're gonna go into 714, where I had a music contract. The first contract that I ever had, and the only contract that I had ever had, musically. It had a number of conflicts and irrational decisions were made during that time. How I handled it, I pretty much just kept going. I didn't let what happened at 714 discourage me from continuing any form of business. I did not it's just a lot of things that I didn't kind of, I guess, I didn't reflect too much on the negatives of it, so to speak. So the first thing is that I signed a contract. Me and Steve T, we were not the only two individuals who were included in 714 in the beginning. Matter of fact, we were supposed to move to Atlanta prior to this situation. And you know, there were a number of us and everybody decided that they were not going to move to Atlanta at the very last minute. They decided that they would stay in St. Louis and sign to 714 instead. I had a number of conversations with the individuals that we were supposed to work with. And, ultimately they just said that, it's your decision. You know what's best for you. If you feel like, you want to stay in St. Louis, then do what you do. And, they were not upset with me. They actually was really, they were really kind in the process of, just kind of explaining what was going on. And they kind of saw me to be a person who was more loyal in the situation because I was not dodging them. But moving forward, um, the bangers came into this situation under 714 first. So you have to know Steve T is the father of my youngest child, and he's the producer or was the producer to 714. I would like to think that he's probably still signed to 714. I don't know if he is or not. I don't have much communication with him anymore. It's really just all about my daughter at this point. Um but I can say that, dealing with the bangers, there was a number of unethical practices and faulty issues within the contract. One of the problems that I have with them is just that well, I was asked to do a feature with the female of that group, which her name is Nana. A feature is 314. And it's interesting because as you guys asked us to come up with a timeline, I went in and I was just looking for old music that I could find, being that I don't talk to any of these people. And when I see them, normally everybody is on their best behavior, but never, there's no conversation about any of these things, and it hasn't been an entire 20 years. So basically, not only was I asked to do a feature with the bangers, but then I also was asked to put my song riding on them things on their mixtape as well. And I said, sure. The way they explained it was they were trying to help, get me out there, or they were trying to help, boost my following. But when I go, and I just found this literally looking for, artwork, looking for the actual songs, links to the songs. I actually just found this the other day, and I didn't know for an entire 20 years that these people had been getting paid off two songs, one entirely that is mine, where they have everything there wrong. Like they say that they wrote the song for me. They have not written any music for me. Steve has not written a song for me. His wife has not, because Nana is now his wife. Nana has not written a song for me. and L and Clips has never written a song for me either. But they have it in their system on Apple Music as if all four of these people wrote Riding on Them Things. Neither one of them are on this song. Steve produced the track. His friend Jelani is embedded in the hook, which is Riding on Them Things, like a sample. And then it's me who raps the entire song, yet that I wrote, yet they took credit for this and they got paid for it for an entire 20 years. And when we go to the feature of 314, now that I wasn't featured for. That is an actual feature. They can say I featured their mixtape, but they can't sit and say that I featured on my own song. Like sometimes I think that, while some people they have more favor for some individuals, and in that favor they don't mind, doing cutthroat things, and none of this. I honestly, I don't even know how they got away with this, because um I've been signed to ASCAP for all of the time that I've been doing music or recording music, and not only have I been signed to ASCAP, but when I did Riding on Them Things, we filled out paperwork for it. So I don't know if this was a thing where they had me filling out paperwork just so they could get all of my information and, run on my identity. I really do not know. But I know that I have never gotten paid for anything at 714. Anything I did with any artist over there has never been a payout for it. So now, oh, and also let me just say that Ty Butterfield and Kerry Butterfield were both managers to me during that time, where they would have gotten 10% of whatever it is that I would have earned. So I don't understand what they did, but I will be curious to find out about it. Obviously, that's more of a lawsuit issue at this point. So now we can move on over to Closed Circle. Closed Circle. This is kind of interesting because I was asked to be a part of a group that had, well, a project and not a group. But I was asked to be a part of. I was asked to partake in a project with Averb, Dutch Jackson, Jay Higgins, and Tyrell Johnson. Uh, Averb being Chaz Duncan, Dutch Jackson being Michael Jackson, Jay Huggins being Jay Higgins. I don't know. I forget what his first name is why I always say Jay Higgins, but Tyrell Johnson. So this music that I did with them, I didn't have a contract. There was no project contract. We did multiple shows. I was never paid for. We did multiple venues. I was never paid for. Multiple promoters. I did a lot of work for them. They never paid me. Unrealistic. This is to me. This is an unrealistic business value, because nowhere in the industry would you just run around doing this kind of work for free. Like, I mean, I just feel like I've done enough with the help, and I'm just like, at this point, sometimes you just feel like you rub elbows with all the wrong people. And sometimes, you just feel like where maybe they could have communicated something that would have helped the situation. Well, they didn't. And so, lots of confusion goes on when people are not being honest about what their motives are, because I don't know. I just feel like at this point I couldn't see myself doing music with any of them, but this was a great learning experience. So now we're going to talk about my postal career. My postal career has been kind of just as jumpy as everything else, to be honest. Even though there has been some really good times at the United States Postal Service, there's been just as much awkwardness going on over there than it has been in any other career. But part of the problem is that they have had me scheduled on a detail the entire time that I've been working in this place. And just like everybody else, none of these people have never told me anything. They will all just say, oh, I guess some people really just feel like I think I know everything. But in that sense, I mean, none of us do know everything. I mean, that's why you have questions. That's the reason why you ask questions. And so part of the problem is this detail has um created so many problems within my employment experience because just the basic communication of me being is on a executive and administrative scale, nobody sees it as that way because I've been detailed on craft positions the entire time. And so being that once I would have started to find out certain things, it kind of encouraged me to take, obtaining my bachelor's degree a lot more serious. In this sense, I felt if anything, me having a bachelor's degree would alarm them to take me more seriously than what they have. What you're looking at here is you're looking at this officer, Mr. Officer Murphy, and then you're looking at Mr. Duran Keys over here next to him, where they play this little game, this little game with me where they tell me that I'm terminated or I've been removed from the United States Postal Service, which is a bold-faced lie. I took pictures. Mr. Duran Keys, he put his hands on me that day. Kind of cut me with something. I don't know what he had in his hand, but me yanking away from him, I end up getting cut. Um, so that was another problematic issue. The fact that I have had the right to file for almost every situation that I've been in with them when it gets to be anything rocky. This is the first time that I've taken a lawsuit seriously with them, and I do have them now in the federal courts on a civil action. So, um, not something I really wanted to do, but they're taking things too far. So yes, I am still an active employee at the United States Post Service. Funny thing is, after this situation with the officer, they took the time out to send a priority mail express package and to give ask me about where I would prefer to be as an employee. I thought that was interesting. I'm like, really? After lying to these people, but this is 15 going on 16-year situation with the United States Postal Service. We have a lot of factors, but I'm just, dealing with the process of getting everything straightened out there so that we can move forward. Now we're going to talk about Full Sail University and, my educational journey. So it first starts at Harris Stowe State College, where I walk in one day to get a GED, high set equivalent. And I obtained that goal October 23rd, 2000, the year 2000. So then I move on to Patsy and Rob Academy of Beauty Cosmetology School, where I stayed there until I was pregnant with my second child, where I would have been not too good with chemicals and different things, and it kind of stopped there and I never went back. But I wouldn't mind honestly going back to finish my cosmetology schooling so that I could, get um my license. So next you have the St. Louis Community College. I did a few, little bit there. I only stayed there for about a year. So I start there with general education, some courses in psychology and photography. And I thought I might wanted to, I might have wanted to go into psychology or photography. I was in between. And then I got caught up with 714 and then that just goes all the way out of whack. So now if we go down here to Lindenwood University, Lindenwood University, I spent some time there. I have a lot of credits there as well. Grand Canyon University, another place that I hold credits. Augusta Escoffier was probably the most lesson time because I was waiting on a box that would have, had my package for schooling. And I was told by staff if we did not have our box, then we would need to withdraw from the school until we would have gotten it, which was kind of awkward. So I don't know if it just took them time to send it out. I don't know, but I was very serious about that because I love to cook. And yeah, that's kind of what happened with Auguste Escoffier. Being that I have a bachelor's degree now, I would have to actually choose a different chef's school for culinary because they only go up to an associate's degree. Anything past that, there's a different school for it. So moving forward, I started Full Sail University. I enrolled in December of 2023 and I started January 8th of 2024. The original graduation date for me would have been April of 2026. And I completed with my bachelor's of science, majoring in entertainment business, February the 6th of 2026. So we pretty much were done 131 2026, but they didn't clear me until 2/6 of 2026. I walked December 19th of 2025, and I feel like, right now my goal is to, you know, obtain this master's degree in instructional design and technology. And then my doctorate degree, I've looked into international studies and because I may just want to go out of country for my doctor's degree. I've done enough schooling in the US. I may just want to take my doctor's degree to an international school, or I've looked into some HBCUs and I'm thinking about Morgan State University or Hampton University if that all fails. So moving forward, we're looking at future opportunities, and I've thought about Sony, CIA, FBI, Universal, my company, Rigid Films slash Rigid Studios, and business. Business is something that I've pretty much gone to school for ever since I left St. Louis Community College. Um, I've been doing business administration. So now we're more so like I just came out of the entertainment business. Now we're in instructional design and technology. So I'm just looking at, business opportunities, continuing, my business endeavors with my businesses, my projects, building a solid well, I guess building a solid project plan, planning for the productivity of these businesses, and getting them off the ground pretty much. And that's just where I am with opportunities now. Going into volunteer situations, I haven't done many, but I have done some, and I would just say that um Kirk Franklin's concert was pretty cool experience. Food for the hungry. This is a pretty much a program that helps feed children over in Africa. So it just depends on basically which child they pick, and then moving forward how much they want to send to them monthly. And then it's a pretty cool thing because it's helping all children in Africa. So any child that you can think of in Africa, and or that is a part of that program. And I think it may even if I'm if I'm not um if I'm all the way correct, it may even extend to another country, but I know during this event I dealt with children from Africa, so that was pretty cool. Would I do it again? Absolutely. I thought that it was a good cause, and I don't mind doing anything that assists low income or in any source of poverty. So I don't mind helping in those areas. And then I am just at the last of it, Stephanie Bird, and I am presenting Stephanie slash Looney B. Sorry about that. This will be the end of the presentation. Sorry it was so lengthy, but I guess sometimes an explanation it can get kind of lengthy. If you have any questions, you can email me at sdbyrd@student.fullsail.edu. Thank you for listening.